Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This video is brought to you by First Detachment Nutrition. Battle tested, expert formulated. Use discount code AB10 at checkout for 10% off. All right, Gym Bros, Big Paul here today, and we are going to talk about why ReComping is an absolute waste of time. MainGaining, whatever you want to call it. I get a lot of guys approach me and say, hey, bro, I want to ReComp. I want to MainGain. Tell me how to do it. I'm going to tell you why it's not worth the effort, and you'd be better off just doing a traditional bulk and a traditional cut. And we're going to dig into all that in just 1 second. So the whole ReComping, MainGaining thing, whatever you want to call it, drives me absolute batshit crazy. I don't know why people think this is an optimal way to do things. I'm not saying it's impossible to do it. You certainly can. But it's not optimal. It's not an efficient way to do things. So think about it this way. What essentially a ReComp is, let's peel the layers of the onion back and think about what a ReComp is. You're trying to lose body fat and gain muscle at the same time. It's like swimming upstream and downstream and trying to do both at the same time, or swimming against the current of the ocean and trying to accomplish something. It's literally you're spinning your wheels and not achieving anything. So if you want to improve your body composition, which is essentially what a ReComp is really about, you're going to have to be in some sort of calorie deficit to burn fat. The only way you're going to reduce body fat is to be in a calorie deficit. We know that. So the whole MainGaining concept that you're on a net neutral calorie balance while improving your body composition is just utter incomplete BS. You have to be in a deficit to burn fat. You cannot violate the laws of thermodynamics. It's physics reign true. You'd win a Nobel Prize if you were to violate laws of thermodynamics. You can't do it. So really, when people think they're at a maintenance calorie when they're ReComping, they're actually in a slight deficit. So you may be trading some muscle for fat. That I have seen that happen before, especially for first-time PED users. I've definitely seen that happen. I've seen it happen with newbies that have never done a structured diet before. I've seen it happen with brand new lifters that have never lifted before. But for advanced or intermediate people, it generally just does not happen. So if you're going to be in a calorie deficit and you're trying to burn fat, why wouldn't you want to do it in the most efficient way possible? Get as much fat off in the quickest time period that you possibly can. Rather than running a slight deficit, let's run a sufficient enough deficit to actually pull some fat off and do it fastly. So if you're trying to gain muscle while burning fat, we know that you also need to be in a fair amount of a calorie surplus to add muscle. And I've heard people say that you only need to be, plus 50 calories per day or whatever to actually add muscle. But that's also fool's gold. So if you think about it, while that may be technically true, you can't dial your diet in enough to be at that minimal of a surplus to actually gain muscle. If you look at the USDA rules on food labeling in coming up with macros, there is a 20% acceptable margin of error. So if your net neutral energy balance for the day is 3,000 calories and you're trying to dial it in exactly by weighing and measuring your food and going off of food labels, there could be up to a 600 calorie margin of error. Yes. So That is why you need to be in a larger surplus. That is why you need to be in a larger deficit to actually make progress in either direction, because there is such a huge margin of error there. You cannot dial your diet in that exact by weighing and measuring things and going off of food labels. So it's damn near impossible to do. Plus, it's just inefficient. If you're trying to gain muscle, why wouldn't you want to gain muscle in the most efficient way possible? And usually what I do is I try to push my calories up as high as I possibly can go, eating clean, real whole foods without getting fat. I use the mirror as my guide, not the scale. If I start to see my body composition decline, then I'll pull the food back just a little bit. So, also, your metabolism and your energy balance can change from day to day. Just literally walking around a little bit more could put you in a deficit if you're trying to run the margins that close, like if you're trying to be in a 50-calorie surplus or a 50-calorie deficit. So, and I've seen it over and over again. The people that try to MainGain, the people that try to ReComp, they never look any different from year to year. They never make any appreciable progress at the gym. They never get any bigger on the stage. They never actually gain any muscle. They never actually get super ripped. If you want to get super ripped, you have to commit to a diet. If you want to get super big and actually add some muscle, you have to commit to being in a surplus and actually training like somebody who wants to be a big bodybuilder. If you want to MainGain, if you want to do a ReComp, you're just going to spin your wheels and look the same from year to year. For some people, that's fine. I'm not hating on you if you want to just maintain. Let's just call it what it is. You're maintaining your body composition. You're not actually changing anything. So that's what MainGaining, that's what ReComping is. For me, as a bodybuilder who's trying to make progress and move forward, I see it as an absolute waste of time. I've talked about it before. I had another video up about the various phases in a bodybuilding season when it comes to cycles and diets. And there is the bulking phase where we're trying, your hypertrophy phase where we're trying to add muscle. There is the cutting phase where we are trying to remove body fat. And there's a maintenance phase where we are trying to maintain our body weight, body composition while improving our health, the cruise, whatever you want to call it. And we also have a rebound phase, which is post-show, which we're going to, or post-cut, where we are going to try to compensate for the loss of weight that we have and get some sort of super compensation and take advantage of the rebound. So really, those are the phases that we have. If you want to MainGain, you're wasting your time. Stop wasting your time. Me personally, I want to be the most efficient that I possibly can in making progress. And the most efficient way to make progress is to actually fully commit to a cut, to fully commit to a hypertrophy phase. And that's going to get you the best results, hands down, every single time, over and over. All right, folks, let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you think I'm completely full of crap, I don't know what I'm talking about, let me know. If you agree with me, give me that thumbs up and let me know. If you want to support me, please support my sponsor, First Detachment. Their information is in the video description below. Use discount code AB10 at the checkout. I also want to let you folks know that I am now up on Spotify and Amazon Music. If you want to check our weekly podcast out on there, it's going to be up there. So look for Anabolic Bodybuilding there. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate each and every one of you. For coaching or consultations, head over to www.anabolicbodybuilding.com to book your spot today. I can help you with optimizing hormones, fat loss, muscle gain, physique, athletic performance, nutrition, and health. For more information, shoot me an email at bigp3rd@gmail.com.